Hello everyone, welcome to the Gisborne Golf Club. I'm the golf professional. So this month we're actually talking about getting a bit more distance off the tee during winter. So it's the middle of August now and the fairways aren't hard and fast like they are in the middle of summer. So if the ball hits the ground too soon, you're not going to get as much roll out of your ball. So you need to actually get a good launch angle on your drives to get the right amount of height to your shots and get the maximum distance you can. Because if it hits the ground too soon, it's not going to run very well. So the key to that is getting the ball in the air. There's two ways. You can launch the ball off the club high, or you can generate spin, and spin makes the ball go up in the air as well. So with the driver, spin isn't a good one because the more spin you generate, the more spin goes sideways as well. So what we want is we want a higher launch angle, so the trajectory goes higher off the club with a bit less spin. So there's a few different ways you can achieve that with the driver. So the first one is by changing the loft on your driver if you've got an interchangeable driver. So if you bought a driver in the last few years, almost all of them are interchangeable. So this club here, if it's set square, is 9.5 degrees of loft. I might set it to 10 degrees of loft just to get a little bit higher launch angle in winter time, whereas in summertime I'll adjust it back to 9.5 so it's an optimal launch and a bit of roll as well. So the first thing you do is add a bit of loft to get that launch higher in the air. The second thing is you want to make sure you don't get it in the air by generating spin at the same time. And one way you generate spin on a shot is to have an angle of attack that comes down steeply like this on the ball. So hitting down like that's not the greatest thing with the driver anyway. So you do that a lot, you'll tend to generate spin and it won't go straight, it'll hook and slice a lot as well. So with the driver, now that you've added loft, it's very important to have the ball forward in your stance so you can actually hit the ball slightly on the way up so you can launch the ball a little higher, and that also helps to generate a bit less spin. So once the ball's in that position, it's very important you don't lean your body this way towards the ball. That's a big swing fault that you see a lot when people have lessons. So you've got to keep your body nice and square and aligned at the target, and just have the ball forward in the stance so you can hit the ball upwards. So you can launch the ball high, but you don't generate too much spin. That way you get a good trajectory and you get the most distance you can. Another thing you can do is to use the type of ball that you want that generates a bit less spin as well. So typically, most of the time I'll use a Titleist Pro V ball, but in the middle of winter I'll use a Titleist Pro V1X because that has a slightly less spin rate than the Pro V1. So that will also be able to get me a bit better launch angle without that spin that goes offline. So they're the key things that are important to get a bit of distance in winter time. You don't want it to get to ground too soon, you don't want to get high from spin. Another important winter fact that's unrelated to driving is the selection of your clubs when you're down the fairway. So one thing that you find is very important that you can do is, instead of using a 4-iron, and you can see the blade of the 4-iron is very narrow, if you hit down and make a divot with the 4-iron, it's going to dig into the ground and dig deep down, and the ball's not going to go very well and the trajectory won't be very good. Whereas if you use a hybrid, like this one here, you can see there the nice wide sole is designed there. If I hit the same angle down into the ground, it skids through and it doesn't dig into the ground, and you're able to get the ball higher in the air. The hybrid also has a lower centre of gravity and it'll launch higher naturally anyway. So if you're one of these people that resist going for hybrids, then if you try it at this time of year and actually learn how to use them properly, it'll really benefit your game, especially in the middle of winter. So if the ground's a bit soft, you'll get away with the shots that aren't exactly perfect. So try these few things and you should really improve your winter golf. Thank you.